Yo! Welcome my fellow men and women of culture to a list of the top 10 manhwa and manhua with an OP main character. So let me stop wasting your time, and let's get started. First up we have My Dad Is Too Strong by Gaye by Eox. Lee Do-jun, our protagonist, was a desk worker for the government that was a part of the Rift management team that took care of the mysterious dimensional portals that appeared all around the world. One day, he got into an accident and woke up in the world of Murim, where he learned to fight, and a single crucial skill. Pocket Watch was a skill that he had gained when he first appeared in Murim, and whenever he died it would resurrect him a day before his death. He rose to the top of the ranks for many years, becoming the strongest, but just like that, he blinked and came back to the world he was originally from. Do-jun continued to go to work and live at his home, but the only thing that changed was gaining a daughter who claims to be the daughter of his late brother, due to which she has nowhere to go. So she requests her uncle to be her father until she graduates through a dad contract. This MC is quite overpowered due to his year of experience in the Murim world. You should give it at least 5 chapters, as the story picks up from there onwards. Coming up next is Villain to Kill by Pupin. You must become the greater evil to fight against the real evil. In this world, people who receive the blessings of the Child of Day are referred to as psykers, and the ones who gain the power of the Child of Night are known as villains. Kasan Lee, our protagonist, was a popular, top-class psyker who is envied by everyone around him. After being framed for the murder of a comrade, Kasan faces his death. Just when he thought it was all over for him, his soul is transferred into a weak young boy who he later finds out is destined to be a villain. Read along as our MC, who has gained a second chance in life, as he tries to figure out this predicament he finds himself in. Next up we have The Max Level Hero Has Returned by Agmakali. The weak prince of an insignificant country, Davy Alroun, our protagonist, after becoming comatose due to getting gravely injured, his soul escaped to a temple where the souls of heroes of the past gathered. He trained there for 1,000 years with the help of the heroes, and has now returned to his original body as a max-level hero, after being asleep for 6 years in the real world. The refreshing story of Davy's new royal life and revenge on his past enemies has just begun. You should at least give it 5 chapters if it serves your taste. Coming up next is Kill the Hero by D-Dart. In a game like World, where dungeons appear, monsters appear, and players appear, our protagonist Jin was a player. After he's killed by the righteous leader of his guild, Jin gets sent back to the past as a chance to start over. This time he's not interested in saving the world from monsters, he's got his sights set on revenge. His high-level kills quickly garner him notoriety among the other player, while boosting his stats as he masterminds his way closer to the top. But there's something no one can figure out: whose side he's playing for. Now that he knows how to play to win, Jin will stop at nothing to destroy the heroes. Next place we have Global Martial Arts by Leoying Cheek Xiaojik. Rebirth is just a starting point from reaching the peak. The main character Fang Ping gets sent back 10 years into a parallel world, resembling his own in everything, but the fact that martial arts is omnipresent and necessary to gain a bright future. Will Fang Ping reach his goal? And become a mighty martial artist to finance his adorable little sister? Or will he fall and hit his head on a block of tofu and die? Find it out yourself, and read the manhwa. The next manhwa on the list is Limit Breaker. One day dungeons and monsters suddenly appeared in the world. At the same time, some people went through an awakening test and obtained powers after finishing it. Our main protagonist Kim Kai-bong was also thrown into this test right before dying from a monster, but due to an unknown error, Kim Kai-bong was trapped in the awakening test for 3,000 years. In the real world, 10 years have passed, and it is overrun by monsters and dungeons. The battle now begins for Kim Kai-bong, who returned with the max level, to restore the world back to the way it was. Coming up next is I Am the Sorcerer King by Deckerspell. 10 years ago, the monster horde from the rift formed from space and time started attacking mankind. At the same time, people have started to awaken the power and began hunting the monsters for fame and money. Lee Sung-hoon, our main protagonist, is in need of money because of his mother's sickness, so he takes a dangerous job to help hunt monsters 4 times a month by acting as bait for the hunters. But one day, he is heavily injured by a monster and remembers his past life as a sorcerer king and that he has been reborn. With his past memories recovered, Sung-hoon's overpowered magic show begins. This manhwa is really good. You should give it at least 10 chapters. Next up we've got Magic Emperor by Nightingale. Because our protagonist Zhao Yifan had the heritage of the ancient Magic Emperor, he met the misfortune of being betrayed and killed by his trusted disciple. After being reborn, his cultivation went back to 0 and he was trapped by a heart demon, given no choice but to become the housekeeper of the Luo family's lone eldest mistress. From being a magic emperor to being an insignificant housekeeper, he embarks on a journey to grow his power in order to lead himself and the declining family to rise back to the peak of the continent. Coming up on second place we have Overgeared by Park Sin-woo. Our protagonist Shin Young-woo has had an unfortunate life and is stuck carrying bricks on construction sites. He even has to do labor in the VR game, Satisfy, which is the world's greatest VR game. However, luck would soon enter his depressing life, as his character in-game, Grid, would discover the Northern End Cave for a quest, and in that place, he would find Pagma's rare book which grants him a rare legendary class amongst plus 2 billion users, which turns his life around. But he still has to work hard and improve his skills to become the strongest legendary class player. Last but not least we have The Beginning After the End by Turtle Me. Our protagonist King Grey has unrivaled strength, wealth, and prestige in a world governed through martial ability. However, he is targeted by a lot of people which would, unfortunately, lead to his death. But guess what? He gets reincarnated into a new world filled with magic and monsters. The king has a second chance to relive his life. And he sets his goal to live this new life to the fullest and correcting the mistakes of his past, which will not be his only challenge. This is one of the manhwas I am following weekly along with some of the others on the list, but this one is really great and I suggest you give it a read. Well, there we have it. I hope this video helped you find the source you desired, so don't forget to like and subscribe to let me know it did. Anyways, I will be seeing you in the next video.